Rain chances are going down for the remainder of the day, but that does not mean the remainder of the day will be dry. There's a chance for a few scattered showers into the afternoon, evening hours, but by and large, the wide shield of rain that we dealt with earlier this morning is out of the way. In terms of tomorrow and the days to come, we're going to hold your rain chances around 40%. More sunshine, so there will likely be a few more thunderstorms. Watch this moisture roll up I-85, moves through the city here, up, out, across the Carolinas. There's still a few spots that could get a spritz or a sprinkle through the evening hours, but overall, I don't think we have buckets of rainfall after we get through the rush hour. By 8 o'clock tonight, you can see here, temperature still around 71 degrees, 75 up there in Rome. If we can actually make 84, that will be nice. We've been covered up in the clouds all day. We tapped 70 yesterday. Tomorrow overnight, you can see that there are a few showers that you'll wake up to 5, 6 o'clock in the morning on either side of Gainesville going up to I-85. You have a couple showers there, some intense downpours here or there, but it doesn't look like anything too strong. And so you can get the trend here. We're starting to shift the pattern, but the clouds are going to be a bit more stubborn, and it's going to take us a while to get some sunshine in. So by tonight, it looks like some communities, especially out east, could get another quarter to a half-inch rainfall. Here in the city, you may get maybe a tenth of an inch, but by and large, not much. We'll add a little bit more to the rain gauge as we get deeper into the week, but the rain chances are not going to be significant, or at least significant as they were Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. As for Wednesday, we'll look for a high of 81 degrees, and then it's a slow climb through the 80s to make it back to 90 degrees by Monday. So we're essentially below average for the next 7 days to come. Finally at average by Monday. Your rain chances once again is those afternoon summertime variety thunder.
Welcome in. I'm Ariyl Onstott. Thank you so much for streaming along with us. It is great to have you here on our Tuesday afternoon. We're getting a check of weather conditions around our area, letting you know what to expect. And our Alex Forbes has been out tracking these conditions for us in Fox 5 Storm Chaser. So Alex, good afternoon. What are you seeing? What are you near right now?
Well, Ariyl, I'll tell you what, we are seeing what we usually see on a Tuesday afternoon about 3 o'clock in Atlanta, and it is this from the roof of the Fox 5 Storm Chaser. Just came through Spaghetti Junction, and we're about to cross into Gwinnett County. So there on the right side of your screen, that is the on-ramp from 285. We also have a police car up here with flashing lights. Not quite sure what's going on up that way. It'll come into the shot here in just a little bit, but we'll check that out as well. I want to pan down towards the road here and notice that it is still, somewhat damp, but certainly not as wet as it was earlier this morning. It most recently rained in Gwinnett County a little earlier this afternoon, and the bulk of that rain has now really shifted up to the north. And to be quite honest with you, we're not looking at many more showers here through the evening hours in really the metro area, but particularly where we are here now crossing into Gwinnett County. So, earlier this morning, it was a wet bus stop for many kids. This afternoon, as kids are coming home now, unless you are in like Banks County up towards Rabun County, it's relatively dry across the metro area.
So, Alex, I know that you've been keeping an eye on the flood watch conditions for Metro Atlanta. Can you tell me where that flood watch still stands, or should I say flood warning? What are we at right now?
Yeah, so it's a flood watch that's in place for the metro area. Remember, a watch is kind of like the broad brush, the conditions are right for this, and then the warning is okay, we've seen something that means it's about to happen, or it's actively happening. We've been able to confirm that. So we're in the watch for basically the west side of the metro area has been canceled. In fact, as we're driving past here, let me flip this around. It just looks like it's an accident. There you go. All right, so there's an accident right there on 85 North. Pulling my traffic card this morning, or this afternoon. Anyway, back to the flood watch warning. The flood watch has been canceled for the western part of the metro area, and they're technically going to let it ride until 8 o'clock tonight for the eastern part of the metro. But, we're not seeing any rain on the radar right now in the eastern side of the metro, and we're not necessarily anticipating to see much between now and 8 p.m.
It makes sense. Alex, funny enough, as you're driving along, giving people a look at the road conditions as well. If people are thinking about their commute here in about an hour or so, definitely good to keep an eye on. If they're near the Spaghetti Junction area, things may be a little backed up. So if you're streaming along with us, listening to us on the radio, 107.9 HD2 FM, and you're hearing this, just you have that heads up from Alex. You may face some traffic there near Spaghetti Junction. Alex, as we look ahead to the week, are we expecting things to continue with this rainy pattern? Will we get any bit of a break in the rain? What are you kind of expecting?
So I think it's going to be more of a revert to normal type of thing. Remember that this is the first week of August, and it's been acting like early November here in the metro area in terms of the temperatures and the type of rain that we've been seeing. So what I'm looking for is, particularly by Thursday, for temperatures to get back into the 80s, which is still slightly below average for the afternoon hours. But then instead of this widespread steady rain at times across the area, we're going to be looking at more of the summertime pop-up storm variety with some more humidity here in the metro area. So there's still the opportunity for rain each and every afternoon, but this cool, breezy wedge pattern, we call it, that's going to be making an exit stage right.
Okay, Alex, thank you. I definitely am going to look forward to a little bit of dry weather myself. Give it a bit of a break. So thank you so much for that update and letting us know what to expect. So I want to bring you guys back to studio because we are going to actually switch gears and check in with Chris Rosenthal. Chris, a house that fell on a car. Can you tell us where you're at and what you're seeing right now?
Yeah, I'm at the corner of Hemp Hill School Road and Thompson Drive here. And let me turn the camera around. I can kind of show you. We got about still 19 or so houses without power right now. You can see Georgia Power crews on the scene trying to restore power. This is after a tree fell early this morning, around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. This tree fell across the road, landed on that car you can see right there. Luckily nobody was in it, but it did land over here across the street on this property. I hear that somebody just had a man just got a few scratches, but other than that, no reports of any serious injuries here. So power crews are on the road right now, or are on the scene right now. One of the challenges that they had to face before they can get the power back on, they have to get rid of this tree. So they had to have tree cutting crews come out, pull the tree out. That's taken quite a bit of the morning into the early afternoon, and now the crews are up. You can see them up in their buckets in the air. They've had to put a new. They tell me they had to put a new pole in there in the ground to connect the wires to. I was checking the Georgia Power app just before this live shot, and they said it estimates the outage to get back online, the power to get back online by about 6:30. So I'm sure that'll be a relief for these folks. But when it came down this morning, it was pretty loud. Luckily, like I said, no reports of anybody injured. But we did talk to one neighbor, Dion Copeland, who heard this tree came down. He said it was something else. We have a little bit of sound we can play.
I was in my bedroom and I heard a loud boom, and it startled me, and I thought it was a transformer. Then the lights went out, started blinking, and they went out. So we all came running outside. We saw the tree down. I was like, wow, that's a big tree. I hope anybody hurt. Then I was worrying about how the kids going to get to school.
Chris, just incredible to hear what he was experiencing.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a little closer look at that tree. This is just all in this guy's yard. He's gonna have to get that removed, and that's a mess for sure.
Yeah, Chris, this is a massive tree, and it's such a good reminder of when you get these heavy rains and storms, it's not even the wind that can cause so much of the damage, but the rain just saturates the soil so much that these roots get weakened. And we're seeing Georgia Power crews work on this. Those linemen you were showing us just a bit ago up in the air, absolutely incredible job they do, making sure people have power and things are safely restored. So you said the last check about 6 p.m. you think was the estimation for power to be back on for people in that area?
It's at 6:30 according to the app. So we'll see. They're working up there. So
Good to know. I know people will be getting home from work around that time. So if you live in this neighborhood, Chris, where is this again? Just if someone's just now joining our stream or listening along, where are you again?
this is on Hemp Hill School Road and Thompson Drive Northwest.
Okay.
So just outside the perimeter on the west side of town in Atlanta.
Okay, good to know. Chris, thank you so much for giving us a look at this and letting us know what to expect. We'll check back in with you again throughout the afternoon and give people a look at what to expect. So thank you so much. Okay, guys, we are going to switch gears and let you know what to expect when it comes to the headlines of the afternoon. I want to let you know what some of the big stories we're tracking in our newsroom are. One thing that we have been following involves a task force that the mayor is launching and Atlanta City Council in the Sweet Auburn neighborhood. Now, this is because of recent violence in that area. You're soon going to see new safety measures for that area of Atlanta. And Atlanta's mayor announced this because he wants to prevent violence in the area on Edgewood Avenue. Several shootings happened recently, including a deadly mass shooting on Edgewood Avenue. It left one person dead a couple weeks back. And that corridor is a busy area with a lot of nightlife. You may have gone to the Church Bar or many other places. Joystick there in Edgewood, you're seeing a shot of it just a second ago. So if you're there, the safety measures that you're going to see in this area include increased police presence, compliance checks, and prosecution in municipal court. This is something city leaders are serious about. They want to see more enforcement to help prevent crimes in the future. In the long term, City Council wants to crack down on unpermitted gatherings, and they also want to add more surveillance cameras. Recent investigations in this area also revealed business violations. Several businesses not reporting taxes properly or following licensing rules. So these are all things that Atlanta city leaders want to monitor to make sure that this stays a safe area that people can live in and enjoy when they're headed out. Another story we have been tracking here in our newsroom involves the third death on Bell Mountain. So this is significant because for the third time this year, the GBI is investigating after a person was found dead on Bell Mountain. Investigators say the body of this man, 38-year-old Fat Tan Bui, was found in a van parked at the Town County Park on July 18th. His family in Gwinnett County had actually reported him missing earlier that day. Investigators say foul play is not suspected, but they are waiting on an official autopsy. Now, this comes after twins Qadir Malik Lewis, you're seeing them here on your screen, and Nazir Rahim Lewis were found dead on the mountain back in March. The GBI says they died in a double suicide, but if you've been following this story, you know that their family disputes this and continues to challenge the narrative of their deaths. We'll continue to keep you updated on the GBI's investigation into this third death here on Bell Mountain. Another story I want to let you guys know about that we have been tracking here in our newsroom involves a big transportation update, and you can weigh in on this. So if you're flying, or rather if you're getting to Georgia's coast, you can think about maybe not driving and instead taking a train. So GDOT is once again seeking feedback on this process. They want to make sure you know what options are available to you, and they're considering connecting Atlanta and Savannah by rail, and they want to know what you think of the process. So they're surveying Georgia residents through a quick online survey. The rail service could be operational in just 10 years. GDOT says it's going to provide faster transportation across the state, with other cities like Athens, Macon, and Augusta included on the list of stops. Pretty incredible. But the link to the survey is on our website, fox5atlanta.com, if you want to vote on your opinions as to what could make this a success and how this would affect you, because again, GDOT wants your feedback. And Gen Xers, here's the one for you. This might be a bit sad. So if you live in Gwinnett County, you may already know popular skating rink Skate Along USA in Lilburn has announced it's closing after 40 years. The rink's owners call it the end of an era. They haven't given a reason for why it's closing, but you may know skating rinks were once a staple in the 70s and 80s for birthday parties and Saturday nights. Bell bottoms and big hair, ring a bell. One thing to keep in mind as we see this is if you're going to go enjoy the skating rink, the last day to lace up at Skate Along USA is going to be August 24th. So we'll continue to keep you updated if that changes. But for now, guys, we are going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we have more news and weather updates for you right after this. So we'll see you right back here. Well, welcome back. I'm Ariyl Onstott. One of the big stories we're tracking this afternoon in our newsroom involves deputies arresting a now former gym teacher at a small Christian school. Right now, they've accused him of possession of child pornography. And Fox 5's Kevin Stewart joins us live from the Douglas County Jail where the suspect is being held. Kevin, good afternoon. What are you learning about this case?
Well, what we've learned so far is that he used to be a teacher, and right now he is being held here at the Douglas County Jail without bond. I want to give you a good look at this guy and where he used to work. We have obtained a letter from his former employer, a small K-12 school in Cobb County called Praise Christian Academy. Warrants, we're told, do not indicate anything that happened at the school. If we want to punch up that letter, I want to read that quote to you. This was sent to families of the students. This is the first time we've had any allegations of criminal activity about this former employee and are not aware that anything criminal took place on campus. This afternoon, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office confirmed there are no known student victims at this time, Ariyl.
And Kevin, as you're looking at this story, I'd imagine that you have a lot of questions and you're just now starting your investigation as a reporter and getting information from police. What are some big things you're trying to learn?
Well, big picture here is now that we do have confirmation from the school via that letter and through the sheriff's office that there are no students who apparently are victims at that school in Cobb County in the Powder Springs area, we do want to know, has there been any effort to go back to the school to find out if there's going to be any follow-up investigation to find out if there was anything there? So far, we have not heard back on that account, but that's something that we will continue to check into.
Kevin, thank you so much for following this for us. I think that would be a big question for parents, and so you clarifying that is very very good for us. And I think one of the big things as we continue to move forward, we'll be checking in with you on this investigation to get a better understanding of where police are looking and what it could mean in the future. So, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. And guys, if you're taking a look outside, the ground may still be saturated around where you live. I know that we've been following a tree down near an SUV, Hemphill Road, and this is in northwest Atlanta. Saturated ground has been uprooting trees, and it's something that homeowners are dealing with, especially after this deluge of rain that we've been getting. So we wanted to bring in an arborist, JD Shamoun, and he works at 72 Tree Seed and Land. JD, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
How you doing?
Doing great. So I wanted to ask you, what are some of the big risk factors when it comes to trees being near someone's home? Is it they're leaning somewhat near there? What should people look out for?
The simplest solution is for the homeowner to go out and see the angle of their trees. If they're leaning significantly, or they feel like they've been leaning a little bit, it's time to call someone to assess the potential of a catastrophic risk of failure. That's what we do. I own 72 Tree Seed and Land. We're a nationwide company, and we're 24/7.
Good to know. I think one of the big things that people should look out for, like you said, is how they're leaning and what that looks like. What do you guys do as an arborist? If someone were to call you, what problems could they call you with?
Well, my corporation specializes in not only arboricultural, but also we're a claim specialist. We're engineers and construction consultants, which complement and go hand in hand with the loss, if there's a loss. And we go out and assess every type of aspect of the conditions that are prevailing during a catastrophic event or before.
And I'd imagine I've heard people discuss, this difference between soft and hardwood trees, and that some might be more at risk for falling than others. Like a soft pine might be more likely to uproot than, say, a hardwood like an oak. Do you see that as an arborist? Is there any truth to that, or are all trees the same?
It's an ambiguous question. Usually a tree that maintains its leaves are non-deciduous. They have more of a wind drag. They hold more water year round. And you could make that generalization that they're more apt for the wind to grab and push. You could say that.
Gotcha. So if someone has that kind of a tree on their property, and if it's leaning or looking near their house, may be a good thing to keep an eye out for. Any other? Go for it. Yeah. What were you going to say, JD?
The property owner is the main. When you've been living on your property for many years, you know those trees better than we do. If they're leaning, just give us a call, or you feel like something's not right, just call us. We'll come out and assess it. And if that anchor root is fractured, it's time to get it down. You don't need to play around with it.
Yeah. Don't take the risk. JD, thank you so much for joining us and giving us that expertise. I think that I'm definitely going to be going home and taking a look at the trees around my house and getting an understanding if they're leaning in a way that's not good. With all this rain and the storms we've been having here in Georgia recently, definitely a good thing to make sure those trees aren't going to fall on our homes or present any other risks. So thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, guys, well, I'm going to bring you back to studio. We're going to transition to another big story we're following here this afternoon in our newsroom. I want to check in with Kim Leffler because a murder suspect police say is armed and dangerous is on the run. And Kim Leffler joins us live from Clayton County. Kim, what are you learning this afternoon?
Well, we know this all happened from a homicide investigation that started here in Clayton County and ended up over in Henry County. This was all happening yesterday evening and also into last night as well. Now, if we take a look at some video that we have, this was the scene only about 5 or 6 minutes away from me here in Clayton County. This is where that homicide happened. We also got video from a neighbor over in Henry County. This is a little over 10 miles from that homicide scene, who saw the end of the chase yesterday. And in that video, you can see several police cars along the roadway. Now, we know Clayton County Police got called to Connell Drive in Jonesboro just before 5:45 yesterday evening. That's where they found a man dead from a gunshot wound. The Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office says that man is 33-year-old DeMontes Grier of Jonesboro. Now, Clayton County Police say one person's in custody and another person is on the run, and we're told that person is to be considered armed and dangerous. Now, at this hour, we are waiting from an update from police on a description of the suspect that they're looking for, as well as an update on the charges that the person in custody and the person on the run will be facing. Of course, as soon as we get that information, we'll be sure to bring that to you. But again, one suspect from this homicide is still on the run at this hour.
Kim, incredible. I think one of the big things, you were in that neighborhood on Fairview Road where that crash happened. Were you speaking to any witnesses in the area who maybe saw or heard something?
We did, and if we do have this sound for you, we spoke with a woman who lives right near the spot where that car actually went into another woman's backyard where this chase ended, and she explains the moment that she first started hearing police get on scene there.
So I was in the bed getting ready to go to sleep, and I heard like loud sirens, but I thought it was on the TV at first until I looked out the window and I saw like all the flashing lights. So I looked out, and as soon as I looked out, I saw all the police cars, and I saw someone hop out of the vehicle and run into like the woods there to the left or behind the house. And then from there, it just like spiraled out of control. It went from like 6 police cars, like an initial pursuit, and then it was like 10, then it was 18, and then it was 25. So I didn't know what was going on, and they stayed out here for about 3 hours. But I did see someone like get off and run off foot after they like crashed the car.
Yeah, certainly some very scary moments for those neighbors in Henry County, as well as the neighbors here in Clayton County where that shooting occurred. Ariyl.
Kim, yeah, absolutely. I can't imagine you're just going about your Tuesday afternoon and next thing you know, a police chase is happening. And not just that, but a car crash as well. As you're investigating this as the reporter, are there any big questions that are outstanding for you that you're still trying to figure out?
The biggest thing at this hour is a description of the suspect that police are still looking for, as well as the charges that both of the suspects in this case will be facing. We're working with police on getting that information, and we'll bring it to you as soon as we have it.
Kim, thank you so much. Again, one person already arrested, another man on the run, considered armed and dangerous. So, Kim, thank you so much for this update. Of course, we'll be checking in if you get anything again. Guys, thank you so much for streaming with us. If you're listening on the radio, welcome. If you want to be listening to us on the radio, 107.9 HD2 FM is where you can listen. And if you're streaming along on YouTube, drop us some comments. Let us know if there's a particular story you want to know more about, something you want to chat on. We're going to be checking in with weather in just a few minutes, getting a long-term look at what to expect in the forecast in the coming days, and whether we're going to be seeing a bit of a warm-up. You can get a look at sneak peek at the hour by hour here. We're going to be checking in with Jonathan Stacy about what to expect. In the meantime, again, if you're streaming along on YouTube, go ahead and drop us a comment. Let us know if there's something that you want to see. If you're on Fox Local, welcome. It's great to have you. I'm Ariyl Onstott, and we're going to go ahead and see you in just a little bit. After this, we're going to have more weather for you and let you know what to expect. Welcome in. Thank you so much for streaming with us. I'm Ariyl Onstott, and it's great to have you with us on our Tuesday afternoon. If you're just now joining our live stream, you can drop us a comment in our YouTube chat. Let us know what stories you want to see, what you want to expect. I was actually just taking a peek through the YouTube chat just a bit ago to see if you have any weather questions. I see Rusty Allen is streaming with us from Richmond, Virginia. So Rusty, welcome. Thanks for joining us here on the stream in the Southeast. It is great to have you. We're going to be checking in on the weather and letting you know what to expect. I think we have meteorologist Jonathan Stacy ready to give us an update. So let's see, Jonathan, are you ready? We're going to see if we can go to him and get a look at the chroma key. Jonathan is just polishing up.
So
let's
not
see.
the traffic IFB?
Okay, we're going to check in with Jonathan in just a little bit. He is getting ready because that was a sneak peek. He's going to be giving us a chance at what to expect in the time ahead. I know a lot of you are curious as to whether or not this rainy pattern is going to stick around, but we're taking a live look out here in Gwinnett County where meteorologist Alex Forbes is in the storm chaser. He's giving us a look at the road conditions and, of course, the weather conditions. So if Alex can hear me, I want to check in with him and see what we can expect. So let's see. Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, Ariyl, we are here in the Storm Chaser coming up here on Hamilton Mill Road, and we're finding a trend here in that right when you come to us, we are coming up on traffic. See the brake lights up there on the Hamilton Mill exit. So we've made our way through Gwinnett County pretty quickly, right? We last talked at Spaghetti Junction about 30 minutes ago. Well, now we're at Hamilton Mill, which, as you know, is the last exit here in Gwinnett before you get into Barrow County. Now, we're headed northeast because this is where it rained most recently, and we are still looking at some wet roadways, you see, especially there on the shoulder. But look, we're seeing them also continue to dry out, especially as the traffic's picking up here in the afternoon commute hours. So we're going to keep on heading north. This is where the flood watch is still technically in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. But as we were talking about earlier, we're not seeing a whole lot on Fox 5 Live Viper that's necessarily threatening for the afternoon commute. And by not a whole lot, I mean nothing. So, you know, we're watching the showers move out. We're going to continue to see the possibility of rain, maybe later overnight tonight. But in terms of, you know, coming up on 4 o'clock now, it's a 7 o'clock tonight for the evening commute. Some roads might be a little damp, but in terms of standing water and whatnot, I mean, I'll flip the camera back around here to the roof. You see, we're just pretty much smooth sailing here, at least on the surface roads. It's the shoulders that are still wet.
Good to know. I mean, that would be my big question, right, Alex? It looks like you're on a major road, right? And what does that look like for people who maybe live in the country or who live off the beaten path? You know, are you expecting certain service roads or other areas to maybe see more of that water? And if so, which parts of Metro Atlanta would you expect that?
Yeah, so I think there, you know, any of the isolated spots that saw several inches of rain. So there's not necessarily a particular area, if you will, but the individual pinpoint locations across the area that saw several inches of rain, that's where you're going to run into the possibility of more standing water on the roadway. I would generally speaking say this. If you are out in the countryside, you know, we're headed towards Jackson County and Banks County. If you're out in those areas, and you know of any spots on your local roads that are especially susceptible to some ponding, or, you know, if it floods a little bit after it rains, those are going to be the spots to look out for. But I'm not looking for anything typically abnormal this afternoon that we would not see with just a big rain event like this.
That makes sense. I think for those who are going on their morning or rather afternoon commute at this point, that would be something to look out for. As you look at the week ahead, right, we're going to be checking in with meteorologist Jonathan Stacy in just a little bit to see what to expect, Alex. But you're taking a look ahead. Anything in the look ahead that you are concerned about? You think that this rainy pattern is going to break for us? Are we going to get a little bit of a dry spell? What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I think the only concern, if you will, would be two things. Or, yeah, I guess two things. The first being we're going to get back into the summertime storm pattern. So we're going to be looking for, you know, the possibility of maybe some of those storms being on the stronger side, especially as we get towards the weekend, the temperatures getting back into the 80s. But the other thing is this, and it's a change from a couple weeks ago, in the fact that now in most of North Georgia, the ground is really saturated. So when we get these heavy downpours beginning really Thursday on of the more summertime variety, it is going to be a lot flash flooding than, say, compared to 2 weeks ago. So as we find our way through Friday and Saturday and Sunday, some spots might flood, and I'm not looking for serious flooding, but some spots might see standing water in places that would not have necessarily seen that standing water just a week or two ago.
Makes absolute sense. Thank you so much, Alex, for giving us a live look, letting us know what to expect. We are going to check back in with you again if something new develops. But for now, let's go ahead and move in to check in with meteorologist Jonathan Stacy. I know that he is ready to give us a look ahead at what to expect with the weather conditions. So let's see, Jonathan. Oh, man. Is that live Viper behind you? That kind of looks...
Well, this is the accumulation of rainfall over the past 7 days.
And looking at that map behind you, Jonathan, that looks significant.
This is wild. And this is late July going into the first couple of days of August. And this is what we've got. Now, here is some good kind of background weather news. We needed the rain because we're starting to slip into a bit of a deficit. Just no one expected the skies to open up like this without something of a tropical variety making a pass through the area. Generally during this time of the year, I'll tell you this, Ariyl, it's like there's a stat that says that over 75% of the rain that we get between August and November comes on the backs of a passing or decaying tropical system.
Wow.
Meaning that in the fall, it just generally doesn't rain like that, or in the late summer, the rain is not so prevalent. But you add in the big time thunderstorms of the afternoon and evening that we got during July, flip the page into the second day of August, and then we just got stuck in a wedge. Clouds came and the rain just kept on coming as well. So some places 6-7 inches of rain from Spalding all the way to Newton County, go out to Cleburne County. Once again, we've been covering the storms that were deadly there, 10 inches of rainfall.
Incredible. Jonathan, as you're looking ahead at the week, when do you expect this wedge kind of pattern to break? Are we going to get some relief?
Perhaps maybe this time tomorrow. Like I see it cracking in the clouds and we see some sunshine.
Yeah.
Even out at the airport, I would show you a live view there. I don't have it pulled up at the second, but it was showing that there were some breaks in the clouds. So we're getting evidence of that today. You can see most of the showers they've paraded on out of here. And I'm talking about it's been a slow parade, literally dragged out of the area. So there's nothing of note. Still some storms that are alive as you get out into Lake Country just to the south of I-20 between 16 and 20 there, but not much that is on its way in. Still, we'll keep a chance there for a shower or two as we go through the evening and overnight, but our rain chances are going down. Today's high temperature so far, a whopping 73. How about that?
Incredible. I'm over here just kind of chuckling to myself because how on earth is it August 5th and we are seeing 73 degrees? It might as well be like mid-October.
You're right. So it matches up to the third or fourth week of October or the second week of March, whichever one. Take your pick. I would go with October.
Yeah.
Because March, you know, sometimes those storms, they something else in March. So
yeah, March and May.
I go with the cool October vibe when the air is nice and there's not a whole lot going on. 73 is the highest we've been all day. We're at 73 right now. That's the way it looks outside. Who wants to see that again? No sunshine, but it is what it is. You probably can feel that it's a bit stickier outside than it was yesterday. I'm talking about just a bit because the dew points have climbed a bit. And we'll keep on seeing that. They're going to keep the flood watch around for a few more hours, but at 8 o'clock it's all said and done. We do have a river of concern as you go down into portions of Clayton County and area of concern, I should say. Clayton and Henry County. We'll keep our eyes on that, but overall I'm not greatly concerned about much swelling of the rivers and streams out there because we're kind of on the back end of the system. You've been asking the question, when is all this said and done? Well, if I were to show you today, we would be in the scattered range. Tomorrow we're going to be in the widely scattered range. And we're going to camp out there pretty much for each day of the work week into the first day of the weekend. By Sunday, the rain chances start to creep back up a bit, but there's no widespread turn or change of the pattern overall. I don't see like, man, the sun is going to come out, we're going to warm up super fast, we're going to get a little bit of sunshine, the temperature is going to creep up a bit, a little bit more sunshine the next day, the temperature is going to creep up a bit. a little bit more sunshine. So do you get what I'm saying? It's incremental.
Yeah.
It's not a widespread, bam, we done it, like we're back to summer as usual. No, we're going to ease back into this thing. And I like it like that because 90s are now in the 7-day forecast, but I think they're going to not come back until we get to Monday. Hopefully, fingers crossed that we can get through the weekend with the 80s locked in, but there'll be some high 80s out there, and a couple of neighborhoods will likely flirt with the 90.
Okay, well, in that case, Jonathan, I will go ahead and I will put up with these 70 degrees. I am enjoying it, I must say. It's not really like I'm tolerating it. I am enjoying it.
This is heaven on earth.
It is.
In Georgia.
You know,
this
you
is
guys.
Georgia joy.
Jonathan has been schooling me because he's like, listen, if you think it's too soon for fall, just wait. 90 degrees is coming back with a vengeance.
And so here's the deal. I'll let you in on this before I go. I became a convert this year. Summer has been my favorite time of the year since I was a kid.
Sure.
And it was because I was out of school. I didn't want to go to school. Then I realized after living in Georgia for what will be the 5th year this year, like Georgia in the fall is the place to be.
The
Metro,
buffer
mountains,
seasons,
middle Georgia, coast, wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
Georgia is a vibe starting maybe after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that.
I have to agree. And spring and fall, just unparalleled here in the South. So
You can't beat it.
Okay, well, Jonathan, thank you so much. I will be enjoying the rest of this week with that in mind. So thanks, guys. Okay, so we're going to transition to check in with Chris Rosenthal, who is in Northwest Atlanta. And Chris is tracking the effects of this weather we've been seeing. Chris, massive tree down. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, well, first of all, I agree. Fall is a great season here in Georgia, and it is being outside here. It is getting a little bit. It is cooler than we normally expect and experience here in August. I'm from Georgia, so I know how it is. But yeah, over here still on Hemp Hill School Road. It's still shut down, still blocked off. You can't drive through here if you want to come through. And those power crews, you can still see them up there. They're still working away. Looks like they've made a little bit of progress here in the past half hour or so since I spoke with you last, just to kind of go over what happened here. This was early this morning, around 7 o'clock or so. A tree fell down across the road, blocked the road up, and you can see this SUV here. I don't want to get too close because we got the crews working, but tree landed on the SUV. Luckily, nobody was inside when it happened. Just understand that maybe somebody in that house might have had a little bit of minor scratches. But let me get out of the way. We got a truck coming out here. But yeah, one of the big challenges, first step is these crews got to get the tree out of the road. So they had to call in tree cutters to get the tree out. They've been doing that all, throughout the morning and the afternoon. And then they could start the work of putting in new poles and putting the wires back in, which is what they're doing now. Last check, outage, looks like should be power back up around 6:30 or so. So I'm sure these people will be relieved when that happens. So, but that's how it is right now here on Hemp Hill School Road.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, I'm just
Atlanta.
looking at the white SUV back there, and that roof is crushed. It really gives you an idea of just how large this tree was, especially when you see all those branches. I mean, wow, like that's an older car. So I know that they use more metal in those older models, and the fact that the tree could crush it like that just kind of testifies to the strength of what that was.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to be inside a car like that when this happens. Luckily it was early in the morning. No one was sitting inside it because that could have been a pretty bad outcome for sure.
So, Chris, I know that you were able to speak to a witness to all of this. Maybe we should take a listen to what they had to say.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we spoke with
and I
one
heard
of the
a loud
neighbors,
boom.
and there it is.
And it startled me, and I thought it was a transformer. Then the lights went out, started blinking, and they went out. So we all came running outside, and we saw the tree down. I was like, wow, that's a big tree. I hope anybody hurt. Then I was wondering about how the kids going to get to school.
Yeah, and in fact, I saw a school bus just up the street on the other side. Looked like he was trying to navigate around the closed up road
Oh.
here on the afternoon drop off. So,
Mm.
yeah, crew's still out here. So.
Chris, thanks so much for giving us a live look. I know it's a very scary situation. Thankfully, no one hurt, just a few minor scratches. Absolutely incredible situation. And I hear the linemen working in the background. Important job. And they're hoping to get that power restored to homes in that area around 6:30 based on your last check. So thanks for the update. Anyone living in this neighborhood here in Northwest Atlanta, just beware you may be without power. So we're going to go ahead and bring it back here in studio where we're going to have more weather and news for you in just a little bit. On the other side of this break, I do want to check it back in with you guys. And when we come back, we're going to be taking a look at some different stories and maybe a community event in your area dealing with National Night Out and how you can get more involved with law enforcement in your community. So we'll see you right here on the other side of this. Well, welcome back in. Thanks so much for streaming along with us. If you're in our YouTube, I'm monitoring your comments in our chat. Let us know if you have any questions or concerns. I see people from Nashville, Richmond, Virginia joining us on our live stream, so thanks so much for being here. And if you're listening to us on the radio, 107.9 HD2 FM, it is great to have you as a listener. We want to let you know about a community event happening tonight, and these community events are happening across the nation for National Night Out. I want to bring in Deborah Moselle and Thomas Tribble. Good afternoon, you guys. How are you doing? Thanks so much for joining us.
Fantastic.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having us.
Wonderful. Okay, guys, I want to ask you, what is National Night Out for those who may be unfamiliar?
So National Night Out is an event that's celebrated across all 50 states, including the U.S. military bases. And the purpose of it is to build camaraderie with our heroes, which would be our policemen and our fire department.
So you guys are hosting an event like this in Smyrna tonight. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
We are super, super excited, I'll tell you, because we actually live in a community that's called West Village. And the West Village community is pretty unique. We've been here now since 2006. But what's pretty remarkable about this community is the fact that we actually did not have a board of directors until 2023. So for all of these years, we've been under the declarant. And so for us, we thought, what a great way to celebrate our independence. So this is actually our very first year hosting a a night out event.
Ah, congratulations. It sounds like a lot of fun. If someone's listening along to this and they're thinking, hey, I want to come out tonight, what does the event entail and where should they go?
You can come to 2156 West Village Crossing. Is tonight from 6 until 8 p.m. And what's super cool about it, other than having Precinct 3, as far as Cobb County Police, and Truck 4 from the fire department, we have a 7-piece band, Kitty and the Cats. And it's a neighborhood band. As we're really looking forward to them being there. We've got AT&T, ADT, Starbucks, Sprouts, Orange Theory, all kinds of restaurants supporting our event. We're expecting at least 18 vendors, and Chef Woe is going to be actually using his smoker on site. So if you want some barbecue, come on out.
Oh, Deborah, I'm already hungry. I feel like my hunger pains are commencing with the idea of barbecue. So it sounds like you have to have a community come together for an event like this, and it's really something that the whole family can participate in.
Yes, it is. This is something, for the whole family. Also, speaking of community, this has been an undertaking involving, the community itself. The community itself consists of 3 different HOAs, it's over 400 homeowners. And, with this event, by this being our first one, we have over 200 participants. And even till today, we are having other vendors, wanting to, to donate, giveaways. One of the local dentist office here has donated donated a gift basket, and also, giving away a free cleaning, to a winner at our raffle that we're going to have here tonight. So this is a lot of, it's going to be a lot of fun here. It's just something great for the community and for all to come out, to take part in.
Free dental cleaning, sign me up. If that is one of your raffle items, is there any other raffle items, or rather I should say, are there, and what are they? What can people expect?
As far as our raffle items, we have Amazon gift cards, of course, Costco gift cards. We've got Cindy Crawford a meaningful beauty basket that's worth $300. And by the way, that dental basket that Thomas just mentioned is worth $400. We've got Orange Theory. They're doing a 5-pack workout series. We've got gift cards. I don't know if you've heard of McCrae's or Hook, Line, and Schooner, but we've got dinner on them at their restaurants. We've got Prime IV that will be there. That's also doing a raffle item, as well as Whole Body. So we've got plenty of giveaways. Chick-fil-A, of course, participated. And lots of kids activity. If you bring your kids, we've got face painting. We've got character drawing. We even have someone that's doing build your own bird feeder. So there is something for everyone.
Build your own bird feeder. How fun. What are some of the challenges in planning an event like this? If someone is listening and they're thinking, hey, I want to get involved, I want to do a national night out next year, and I want to do this with my local law enforcement, what can they expect? How do you go about planning something like this?
Thomas?
Well, this is actually this, with one thing that I use, in this, being the first event for this community, is using my program management background and actually build an actual program, based on, what's National Night Out typically wants its participating communities to be involved with. You have your project sponsor, which is the West Village board of directors. Then you have your project manager, which is myself, then the committees, that are part of that. Our core committee members, that have taken part in this, has been upwards of about 20 people from within the community. That we have these subcommittees, who coordinate logistics, activities, communications, safety, and also cleanup. Then we have, a resident volunteer model that we use, where these 20 residents, contributing more than 200 combined hours in this activity, in planning this. So it's basically, having, to leverage a professional background in project management in order to get this thing off the ground.
And the
Yeah.
beauty of this event, I meant to tell you, is that it pretty much didn't cost us anything through donations. We actually tapped into our APS, we tapped into our property management group, we tapped into our vendors, and so very little came out of pocket as far as the homeowners.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's something that you're able to plan to hopefully benefit everyone there. And the fact that you were able to do it frugally, how wonderful. Can you tell me before we wrap up here, how does an event like this build trust with law enforcement? What does a community gain by having an event like this and trying to deepen those relationships? Does it make a difference?
Oh, honestly, I think it does. Because West Village in itself, we have very little crime, but we want to keep it that way. And by establishing that relationship with law enforcement, it's building that trust and that camaraderie. We actually know the name of the officers that will be here. There are a lot of the same officers that patrol our neighborhood, and some of them even volunteered to be here. So it just meant a great deal to us. It's going to go a long way with those 250 plus homeowners that will be here.
Incredible. I think it's something that's really special for people to be able to come out and just meet people in their community and also know who they could call in times of trouble or stress. Before we go, one last thing. Time, where this event is. Again, if people are just joining, I know that you moved inside because of chances of rain. So when and where is it?
It's located at the West Village Community Center. The address is 2156 West Village Crossing, and the time of the event is from 6 until 8 p.m.
Awesome.
Oh, and I forgot, we've got some
Yes.
special guests. We're going to have Lisa Cupid there, as well as Commissioner Eric Allen. So they're going to stop by as well before they head over to another event.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for sharing this with us. I hope the event's a success tonight, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Wonderful. Okay, guys, I want to bring you back here in studio because we are just getting live pictures into our newsroom, and I want to go out and show you this because President Donald Trump is expected to sign an executive order around 4 o'clock this afternoon, so in just about 6 minutes or so. And we know that the president is wanting to sign this task force on for the 2028 Olympics. He's planning to oversee the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, and Reuters has recently reported that this task force would focus on security, transportation, and visa processing ahead of the 2028 Olympics. Now, we know so far Governor Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass have not yet responded to the news of the president's creation of that task force. You can see reporters gathering there along the wings in the front as they wait for the president to enter and to make this update. Now, President Trump also chairs a federal task force that is overseeing the preparations for the 2026 World Cup. The United States, Canada, and Mexico are hosting this event jointly. So we have a lot of significant events coming to our country over the next decade, the rest of the 2020s. In 26, we're going to host the World Cup, and then in 28, the Olympics. And so we're waiting to see what the president's creation of this task force will entail, what it will mean. We do know that President Trump was instrumental in getting the Olympics to come to the United States for 2028. His One Big Beautiful Bill Act did set aside $1 billion in federal funding to pay for security and planning for the Olympics. It also sets aside more than $600 million for World Cup security. So President Trump has stated that it was important to him for these major sporting events to come to the United States, particularly the Olympics. So it's something that he's worked on. So we're hoping to learn more in a little bit as to what this could look like. We do have some questions as to if this task force will cost taxpayers anything additionally, what it will look like in terms of security. Like I said, we know that transportation, visa processing have all been discussed as areas of focus for this task force. But President Trump has made it his mission, and it looks like we have someone walking out right now. I don't know if this is about to begin, but it looks like they may be checking in with reporters. We have people just waiting, probably doing some sound checks and waiting for for the president to come out at 4 o'clock. So we'll continue to keep you updated on these developments and let you know what to expect. Again, President Trump expected to sign an executive order creating a task force to oversee the 2028 Olympics. Guys, thank you so much for streaming with us. It is a pleasure to have you. YouTube, on the radio, 107.9 HD2 FM. I'm Ariyl Onstott. I'm going to send you to a break before our news at 4 o'clock begins.